Rose Quartz, you are the light that brightens my day, the sparkles on the ocean waves, a meadow of decadent flowers. My liege, you are my everything. Well, not really. But you are just about every major concept introduced into the show so far. A diamond, a fusion, an interspecies hybrid reincarnation, a lion, and possibly a mad scientist. Okay, so maybe you are everything. Let's start with the easiest and begin to work our way through the list. But I'll be saving some of the latter bits for a different theory video, so stay tuned for that. For Rose being a diamond, this would be easy to prove if there was some sort of motif in the show about it. I mean, we got it for Garnet, so sure there must be one of this too, right? I mean, it'd make my job real easy. Really freaking easy! Oh well, I guess we're gonna have to prove this one using actual evidence. Real quick, let's go over the previous images. Firstly, Pearl would not be wearing a diamond emblem if the diamonds were 100% against Rose. But keeping in mind that Pearl isn't too crazy about humans anyway, I doubt that she'd have much of an issue with Rose's diamond past. And also, the spaceships which predate the war show the 4-diamond symbol. The earliest item that has the 3-diamond symbol is White Diamond's burial pyramid. What? Did I say something about a future video? No? Well, alright then. Anyway, this all makes sense because Rose would be removed from the authority upon betraying them. Now, let's start by figuring out what a diamond even is. We know from the Homeworld Gems dialogue that Yellow Diamond is some sort of high official, and Ronaldo's diamond authority theory fits this to the T. Given the power-centric disposition of the Homeworld Gem so far, or at least according to Jasper's importance of it, but even Paradox sometimes shows some of this, they're probably pretty powerful and have a natural disposition to lead. Rose Quartz fits these conditions so far. She's a natural leader, having led an entire rebellion against the homeworld, and she's pretty darn powerful, having not only won the rebellion, but also being able to summon 2 weapons. Since usually height is a rough measurement of a gem's strength, with fusions being the tallest of all gems, Rose stands head and shoulders above even fusions at a whopping 8 feet tall. Huh? What's that? Yeah, I know that's Jasper, but I just explained that doesn't count. Rose Quartz isn't a fusion. Meanwhile, Jasper's a cluster. Oh, okay, I get it. Well, if you didn't know that, go check out Rob from Interracial Gaming's video on the subject. Even though there's been a lot of changes in the recent episodes that take away some of his points, I think it still holds up, and I don't really need to rehash that video here. Although, there is one additional point I'd like to make about that theory. It makes sense that Jasper would have a plot twist revealing her to be of cluster fusion, due to a writing trope point of view. In the episode The Return, the Crystal Gems meet the Homeworld Gems for the first time, 2 opposite teams with roughly equal amount of members. This writing tactic is known as a foil, in which the protagonists and antagonists are meant to highlight particular traits in each other, often serving as opposites. Although they do have some notable similarities. Pearl and Peridot, for example, are both proficient with technology, and are more logical than their allies, as well as being apparently prone to fits of insanity. Both have a job to do, but in Pearl's case she struggles with her sense of responsibility and need to serve, thinking more about why she does what she does, whereas Peridot is simply going through the motions and becoming frustrated left and right by being unable to perform said job. Lapis and Amethyst both struggle with the idea of home, and in adhering to others' expectations of them. Lapis wants to return to Homeworld only to find it vastly different from what she once knew, while Amethyst was born on Earth but feels a disconnect with the rest of the cast, as she is not truly a native to either world. Also, despite being arguably more powerful than the other seen Homeworld Gems, Lapis is subservient to them while they're allied. Meanwhile, Amethyst exerts herself to gain the approval of the Crystal Gems, but they're more loving and accepting of their comrade. Finally, this leads us to the opposing forces that are Jasper and Garnet, the interim leaders of both factions. Both are the strongest and hold opposing views on fusion, but Jasper's ideas seem out of place and not particularly held by the other members of her team. But remember one of the major downfalls of fusion. When one is fused for too long, they lose their original sense of self. Garnet loves being herself because it's a genuine connection which Ruby and Sapphire have with each other. If Jasper is a cluster though, then she isn't capable of realizing that she's a fusion. But perhaps one of the downfalls of even a successful cluster fusion is that there are still the voices of the damned floating around in her psyche, giving her hints of what she truly is. Jasper would probably hate the realization that she's literally just a bunch of weak gems mashed together, although straight up dead gems are probably a lot worse than a bunch of weak ones, and this would shock her character to the core. Given the type of writing that the show has given us so far, this just seems pretty likely to happen. But let's say we were wrong about this and Jasper really is just another foot soldier. Well, the Rose is a diamond theory still holds up because power and size are just a rule of thumb ratio. There's nothing set in stone, with lapis lazuli being the obvious exception here. So, for all intents and purposes, Rose is still the strongest single gem, and it's likely that the rest of the diamonds would be similar to her as well. But Des, you say? How do you know she's not just a gem with above-average qualities? While a Spartacus-like story would be interesting, we're better off just asking Rose herself.
It's just talk. I barely know you.
That's a good thing.
We really rushed into this.
Okay, so maybe Rose doesn't like talking about her past so much. After all, being a planet-eating warlord doesn't exactly fit in with her motherly, all-accepting diversity self at all. But being a diamond, a leader of a race that has to do these sorts of things to survive, well, it would force her into this situation and eventual rebellion, leading to this regretful state. Now, I know there is another way out of this. It could just be her having guilt over, war crimes and the Fallen and murder and all that other bad stuff. And that's true, that is possible. But let's ask an actual diamond then, whether or not this is true. On the mural from Sirius Steven, we see depictions of the war in 4 unique figures, one of which is obviously rose quartz in what appears to be a conflict with another gem. Note how all 4 of the gems tower above the other humanoids, and in Rose's case they seem to even be huddling behind her. All of the gems also have a notable diamond shape associated with them in their chest. All except Rose, who is holding her diamond out in front of her while fighting White Diamond. Jeez, there's that name drop again, but we don't have the time to really focus on that right now. What that particular part of the image means can be a lot of things. Throwing her old rank away, using her powers to the point that it becomes unusable, who knows? But the fact that Rose is seen with all of the other diamonds, and the 4 diamond symbol in Pearl's temple and on the old spaceship, supports this idea that they were all the same type of gem and a part of the same group. Now wait a second, you say. Then why isn't her name Rose Diamond, like Yellow Diamond? Well, the lazy answer would be that she changed her name and, like the picture, gave up her diamond status. But we theorists are better than lazy. Let's take a closer look at the naming conventions of the series. 2-word gem names are lapis lazuli, yellow diamond, rose quartz, and watermelon tourmaline? Yellow diamond and rose quartz include color descriptors for their gems, as diamonds and quartz can be found in a variety of colors, but they're the only gems whose names refer to these specific versions. Lapis lazuli is the actual full name of her gem. No extra descriptors are involved, so she's removed as an exception. Watermelon tourmaline, however, does fit in with rose and diamond, but it's also a corrupted gem, and we have no clue about the names of the other corrupted, so that's an oddball there. Okay, so naming conventions are weird in the series, and the rules don't last too long. Let's look at how a gem's name changes then. Diamonds are fusions! Didn't see that now, did you? Well, you did. Back in the mural in Sirius Steven and look at the humanoid figures. Assuming the average height is between 5 and 6 feet for a humanoid, that makes the diamonds a whopping 15 to 18 feet in these scenes, and that's taller than most 2-gem fusions. What, you think the creator took artistic liberties? Slim chance. This was made directly from a highly advanced gem, and it's already been established that most gems don't have the time or care for frivolities like exaggeration or artistic merit, preferring a tendency to more Vulcan-like logic. No, this is what actually happened from this gem's memory, permanently etched onto the wall. Now, you might be saying, well yeah, but we've never even seen a diamond, so how can you know that for sure? But once again, viewer, we have. Meet White Diamond. What, not good enough? Fine, let me zoom in. White Diamond fought Rose and lost, turning into this corrupted gem. And look at it! It's so unlike any monster we've seen before. It's ginormous compared to even the largest of monsters. Its main room is large enough to be packed with dozens of copies of the cast and still not be filled, with the deeper chambers also being able to transform and alter themselves at will. That little tidbit also adds another point to the diamond quality checklist: space-time manipulation. We see this is performed in Rose's room, as it can create various areas on command, the Crystal Temple, which the gems created their own rooms in using the temple's own special properties, and in Lion's warp ability.
Don't forget to click the link to the next video. I had to split it up into 2 videos and it was really sad and depressing. Have a nice day!